signs in this rhyme. So they try to bind two souls without the ancient scrolls while the death toll grows out of control. Sold like a slave while your ancestors died an untimely death and tossed in their grave. Listen to what the ancients say. Look within or do without. The church is your body. The temple is your mental. So know thyself beyond a shadow of a doubt.
The violence in the hood is killing the good, causing our people to be misunderstood. But I'm not hiding my face, I'm standing up cause we dividing the race with all the sexes spread all over the place. Colors and dope, we substituting for the whip and the rope, keeping the black in the back when most of us broke. I'm trying to cope, sit back and smoke till Armageddon approach. I hope when judgment come, our people don't choke. Some of us woke, but still too many get caught up on the boat, weighing us down with hate, that's why we can't float. We all got a drug, liquor, cracker, living life like a thug. It's all addictive and it's twisting our love. The vision ain't right when it causes us to argue and fight. Even kids, I see no healing in sight. I'm not gonna shout, but most of us sell out for money and clout and say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. That's straight. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Some say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Some say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Some say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Some say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Some say they bout it, but don't know what they bout.
Okay, I'm going to tell you about another story called I Want a Real Father. Alex wants his family to be close and loving, like the ones he reads about in books and sees on TV. Instead, he thinks he might hate his parents. Alex's father cheats on his mother. He beats her when he has had too much to drink. His mother seems to be willing to forgive him every time. He can't understand that, and everyone in town knows about them. The kids at his school laugh and joke about it. Alex ends up in many fights about this. Alex wants his father to quit acting like a fool and a drunken teeny-bopping fool at that. Sometimes Alex wants to beat his father up while he is drunk. He believes that even though his father is strong, he could certainly jump him and teach him to act like a real man, a real father. What do you think about that?
He is so tired of people laughing at him. His daddy is a drunk. Everybody in town knows this. What should he do? What should Alex do?
I think that Alex should try to make his mom realize that love doesn't hurt like that.
Love does not hurt.
And try to convince her and realize that it's not only hurting her physically and mentally, it's also hurting Alex.
You know, I can relate to Alex. My daddy, when I was cast,
someone, whoever he trusts. We can't just say a preacher, you know, we can't just say a teacher, a counselor. It could be any adult. If it's an adult anywhere in the neighborhood, school, or wherever, that Alex feels like he can sit down and talk to him, that's who he needs to talk to. And he also needs to calm down before he goes and talk to his mother about it, and especially before he goes talk to his father about it, because that's he don't know how his father's gonna react. He can come to his father calm, but what if his father's in one of those moods, you know, and it could all blow up like that, you know, and especially being a young man, you can find yourself out of the home, bucking up to daddy, especially when you're about 15, 16, you can find yourself out of the home, bucking up to daddy like that and taking him on. Because daddy might ask you, oh, you trying to step in my shoes and jump on you first. So.
You think you should beat him up while he's drunk? I mean, you know, when he's drunk, he can.
You with it.
You think you should do what they did in the military? They call it when a person gets drunk, they wrap him up in a sheet and they beat him and he can't get out.
Maybe you should let him know next time he go down, he's gonna call 911.
Mm-hmm. You should have his mother, him and his mother should duke it.
You can't tell somebody not to defend their mother.
How about calling the police?
Do both.
That's kind of hard to say. You're going to call the police on your parents because you're thinking about somebody that you love or somebody you might want to still be there. So if you call the police, that's not always the solution. Sometimes you have to find another place to vent. find an avenue to channel a lot of anger you got built up. Usually a lot of people would like to go to a minister or somebody they think, or, you know, a good friend that they can talk to just to let them know how they feel, and then maybe they can come back with some different ideas on to what, you know, how to solve that situation. I think if you're gonna talk to your father, you're gonna have to be, as a male, you're gonna have to be man enough to be able to talk to him and let him know how you feel, but don't take it to a violent level, because usually when you promote violence, it's usually a bad outcome anyway.
You think he should ignore the other children's taunts? Go to his teacher or counselor at school?
I think you should probably seek counseling somewhere. Back in our day when we came up, my father used to jump on my mother. Back in our day when we came up, it wasn't a lot of help. If I seen a kid like that now, I would advise him to seek counseling and never sit down and talk to his mother. Because one thing is hard to do, it's hard to understand it because your mother accepts it so well. So you're in a crossroad. So I probably would advise him to go get counseling, then try to sit down with his mother alone and try to talk her to go get counseling. And then maybe then together to deal with his father.
What about these kids? The ones that constantly taunt him at school. I remember when my daddy would be getting drunk, and everybody in the neighborhood knew that because when we were coming up, we all lived across the track. And everyone knew everyone, knew each other's business. What about a child? What about a child if a child is being taunted by others? What should they do? What would you do? Ignore it? What would you do? Ignore it. That's not easy. Children can be very, very hard on them. You know, I was really thinking about President Clinton's daughter. I mean, they have been really messing with him, but what about the child? What type of taunting is she getting at school? I mean, as a child, what would you do?
I would try to ignore it, but I know ignoring is hard to do because after a while you may become very agitated, and agitation can lead to violence, and that's what it usually ends up in.
Violence. Violence. See, violence is what we're really talking about. Inappropriate behavior. How do one act in the midst of a storm? What do one do? Choices.
Let's deal with it while you calm.
Choices. What choice would you make? Speak up. What choice? Come on, what choice would you make? If you were being taunted or teased because of something that your father was doing, such as always getting drunk.
What about when you walk across the park, though? You're not at school, you're just in the neighborhood.
Well, then you need to go get your big brother.
I mean, one thing used to help, one thing that I used to notice growing up in the neighborhood was, it was certain things people wouldn't talk about you about if you let them know straight up, you don't play like that. We can high side, we can high cap, but I don't high side about my mama. I don't do mama jokes. You know, and a lot of times that helps when you talk to your peers. Do it like, in a calm, cool way. And a lot of times somebody will step up for you, like, nah, you don't get